Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. It is good to see you. We begin with a traffic alert this afternoon. Drivers in the Shadle area have been dealing with some delays today after a water main break, and we're taking a look at the video there. It happened on West Wellesley near the Shadle Walmart and Safeway. The city has cleaned up the mess and turned off the water. Crews closed westbound lanes while they were fixing the water main. Eastbound lanes, however, are still open. It is just a minute past noon right now. Boy, what a beautiful day outside so far. So let's talk about the weather this afternoon. We have Brandon T. Jones. He's in for Thomas today. Brandon, Thomas was too sore probably to work from Bloomsday, so you had to step in for him.
That's exactly right. And something I always tell Thomas is that I never want to fill in on the weather for him if it's not a gorgeous day like this one. I mean, I'm looking around and I can't even spot a single cloud. So if you sent in a picture of us to some clouds, I might have to analyze it a little bit closely and see if it's AI or not. Taking a live look over downtown Spokane right there. Beautiful, beautiful day. It was a beautiful start. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. It's going to be a beautiful evening. I can't stress that enough. This is like the ideal spring in Spokane kind of day. We've got a high in the mid 70s, blue skies and some sunshine. A gorgeous day to get out there for a walk. Maybe go look at some of the lilacs. It's lilac season right now. I know Manitoba's got some of those in stock right now. It's a gorgeous start to the day. As for right now though, 65 degrees, winds picking up a little bit, 16 miles per hour, but we've got your full forecast coming up a bit later in the show.
Brandon, sounds good. Thank you. In continuing coverage, the Central Valley School District voted yes to send a federal civil rights complaint against the state. Now, they say there are conflicting policies on transgender student athlete participation. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy has a look at the decision and what's coming up next.
Well, this all comes from what district members say are conflicting powers at be. They say state guidelines on transgender student athletes directly go against federal guidelines, and no matter who they side with, district funding is at risk.
We've been trying to do this for over a month.
Central Valley board member Anise Barker emphasizes what she says is both an ongoing and urgent need to send a written complaint against the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction and the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, or WIAA. The complaint accuses the state of violating protections for student athletes by allowing transgender athletes to compete in sports based on the sex they identify as. Some members say this goes against a federal law protecting from sex-based discrimination in public schools, known as Title IX.
They are competing for second place instead of first because there is a male on their starting line. We have got to protect these girls.
Barker wrote the first of multiple drafts of the complaint addressed to the Office of Civil Rights in the U.S. Department of Education. It argues OSPI and WIAA are going against federal policies by not banning transgender athletes from competing in sports for the sex they weren't assigned at birth. They worry that could ruin $12.8 million in federal funding the district has for the 2024-25 school year. But the decision was met with some opposition.
My great disappointment that we as a school board are not able to find some kind of an alternative to a ban.
Board member Cynthia McMullen spoke against sending the complaint, saying the people she's worried about are different.
It is, in fact, a challenge against students and family members in our community who have self-identified as trans or, in this particular case, trans.
The board ultimately voted 3-2 in favor of sending two drafts of the letter, both with similar language. School board president Stephanie Jordan says while opinions across the board vary, she's relieved the vote went through simply to start a conversation on whose rules to follow.
No one is saying break the law. No one's even saying change policy, but we're bringing this to everyone's attention.
District members say the loss of that funding would impact students and the community. They're hoping a solution can be made by sending both drafts of the letter. They say they'll both be emailed and mailed to those offices. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, the time is here. Starting tomorrow, if you're flying, you need to make sure you have a real ID if you don't have other appropriate means. After years of delays, the law takes effect tomorrow. Now, if you don't yet have a real ID, you can use a passport or other federally approved ID to get through security. However, if you don't have any of those, you'll need to go through additional screening with TSA and you could be turned away. So be sure to join us tomorrow morning on Up with KREM. We'll be live at Spokane International Airport. We'll be talking to passengers and the TSA and get more again on Real ID. The time is here.